Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or our website. It's in the description below, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a Breitling Superocean 46 in black steel. It's a DLC-coated stainless steel watch, 46 millimeters in diameter. This is an old-school Breitling from Schneider-era book of design, and as you can see, the timepiece is big and legible. If a big pilot can be 46 millimeters for practical reasons, so can a diving instrument. So 46 is the diameter, 16.9 millimeters is the thickness, and then 57.5 is the lug-to-lug dimension, with the spacing between the lugs being a nice proportional 24 millimeters. When I mention the Schneider family, I'm talking about the company ownership from 1978 to 2017, and the Schneider family believed that Breitlings needed to be big and bold, and this watch certainly is. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, I think I'm maxed out. I wouldn't wear this watch on a wrist smaller than mine, so 16 centimeters and up, it's going to be big if you wear it on a borderline wrist like mine, but that's sort of the look. Can you tell the time? Yeah, I thought so. Mission accomplished. The watch is thick, however, and it's probably not going to disappear underneath a tight cuff, so if you're going to wear this as a dress watch, you better have a big wrist with sleeves to match. Now, taking a look at the strap, it's a Breitling factory piece in vulcanized rubber, and it is the latest professional strap, and you can see it has a little bit of a Hershey bar pattern whereby you start with raised relieved letters and then eventually they become shallow embossed figures. So it's an interesting transition, and you can see the watch features that transition on both sides. It's a thick strap, but it's very flexible, and you can see there are hollows on the underside to let the wrist breathe. It's also very flexible, and I would say, all things considered, this is about as close to a silicone strap as a rubber strap can feel. It is very soft and super premium. The watch features a black steel pin buckle to match, and note that it's a counterweighted clevis style buckle, a lot like what you would see on a pilot's watch. Jumping back to the case, black steel indeed, all of a satin finish, so muted, and I think that's in good taste given the size. It also has a simple form with nicely downturned lug tips. This is why I'm able to wear the watch. If these flared out straight like on a big pilot, I probably wouldn't recommend this watch for a 16 centimeter circumference wrist. There's a helium escape valve, and this watch is 2,000 meters water resistant, so you get a feature right here that Rolex forces you to step up to a sea dweller to receive. At Breitling, you're getting the helium escape valve, the extreme depth rating, and then if you look closely, you can see that the bezel is held on by little screws. This is a captive bezel system. Most bezels just snap on, and as a result, sufficient force can cause them to snap off. But with the captive bezel system, the watchmaker has to disassemble the bezel before it can be removed. It's just a more robust system. Let's hear the bezel detent. It's loud, coarse, and very mechanical. You can place it with precision, and it's a 120 click bezel, so you really can zero it right out against the minute hand. Now you've got an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. In the past, some Breitling dive watches did not feature a luminescent pearl. That was an oversight. I like the fact that there is a lumed pearl in the bezel. You can easily line it up against the minute hand, and the bezel is all metal. You can also see that the individual indices and numerals are polished stainless steel, and they're raised and relieved versus the base. I prefer a dive bezel to a chronograph because frankly it's easier to read, you don't have the downstream maintenance costs, and most chronograph registers only go up to 30 minutes. This gives you 60. The dial base is a matte blue, and you can see that the indices themselves are applied, so no printed features here. It has an upscale look to it with tri-Arabic numerals, super easy to read. You can see the hands at center are satin finished. There's a bit of a Rehot or chaptering outboard that slopes down to unite the dial with the bezel. The crown is a screw down, and that should go without saying, with rather sharp and pointy crown guards that are a little bit of a nod to vintage heritage. And then you've got the case back. Solid, of course. I have to say these watches are remarkably solid, so much so that they generally don't work on standard water test settings. Most water testers in watchmaking first compress the case and decompress the case, and so they should compress and decompress by the same amount. With the Breitlings, we have to use a special hard case setting because they don't compress at all. That's how tough these things are. Inside, you've got caliber 17, which is an ETA 28242, adjusted in 5 positions and chronometer certified, so it's the highest grade of 2824, the chronometer grade. 38-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding, 4 Hz beat rate, 25 joules. It has both stop seconds and a quick set date, plus all of those water-resistant and diving features we mentioned earlier. This is a big, bold diver that's meant to be seen both above and beneath the waves. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Here we see the Breitling Superocean 46 black steel by night.